Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dua Esrar.
I'm Derek Sibley.
It is October 4th, 2023. Happy Wednesday.
Happy hump day. Happy.
Welcome back, Derek.
The week.
Welcome back, Derek.
Thank you.
You look very pink in the face.
Yeah, you know, it was a rough sunburn.
Yeah, I can see, I know our viewers can't see it, but I can see this side of Derek's face just peeling away.
You should see like the back of my neck.
Oh my God.
That was rough.
It looks painful.
Yeah, no, it was rough. But you know, I had my shirt on in the water because I know better, because I just burn like crazy. That's just yeah.
See, over
no matter how
here,
much sunblock I use, it doesn't matter.
I think you would have burned over here because, man, did we have a warm week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But
so.
It's supposed to get cooler now.
I did see that, and yeah, it is going to be cooler because we're tracking a cold front this morning, so that's good news. And you know, it's bringing a little bit of some rain. We still are in a bit of a drought deficit across the area, and you can see some showers that continue to track their way across the area this morning. But a lot of it here has dissipated since the overnight came along. Wind speed and direction right now showing that winds are coming up from the south and southwest between around 10 to 15 miles an hour, with our current temperatures into the low 70s in some spots from La Crosse east through the Wisconsin Dells there, and temperatures everywhere else mainly into the mid to upper 60s, with Eau Claire at 68 degrees. As we take a look at your planner throughout the day, a couple of light showers are possible early on, and then skies turning mostly sunny, with afternoon highs expected to reach those mid to upper 70s. So just watch out for some scattered showers on your dog walking, but other than that, the rest of the day favors nice walking conditions there, with allergy report symptoms low for the ragweed today and tomorrow. Weed, however, is medium. That turns to low tomorrow. Mold, however, will remain high today and tomorrow. A check on that schoolcast is coming up in a bit, plus your weather forecast. I'll let you know how the rest of this week is shaping out.
Thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. Bail has been increased for the man accused of killing 26-year-old Madeline Kingsbury. 29-year-old Adam Fravel appeared in Winona County Court. Prosecutors asked for Fravel's bail to be increased to $3 million. Earlier this week, a grand jury indicted Fravel on heightened murder charges. He now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. Kingsbury went missing in March. Her remains were discovered over 2 months later. Fravel, the former partner and biological father of Kingsbury's children, was arrested on the same day. He faces life in prison if convicted. Fravel's next court appearance is expected to be in December. Sexual content and inappropriate communication, it's a pattern of misconduct that a Chippewa County investigation says the county sheriff displayed to a new employee. A complaint filed in May triggered an investigation into Sheriff Travis Hakes. The complaint accused him of sending inappropriate and unwanted messages to a new employee. According to the complaint, Hakes claims the messages were intended to make the new employee feel welcome. But the report alleges that he did not communicate with other new or seasoned employees in the same manner. Hakes blasted the investigation, saying he had no knowledge a formal complaint was filed against him and the people behind the report have a political agenda against him. The Chippewa County Human Resources Director says that's not right. The director says Hakes was notified of the complaint 6 times before the investigation started and that his rights have been respected throughout the process. The suspect in an Eau Claire credit union robbery is still at large. According to the Eau Claire PD, officers responded to a holdup alarm at Wisconsin Credit Union around 1 p.m. Monday. Police say the suspect had a handgun and demanded money from employees. He then fled on a dirt bike with an undisclosed amount of cash. Police are asking for the public's help in finding the man. They say the suspect is a white male, bald with a mustache, and between 5 to 10 and 6 feet tall. Police consider the man to be armed. Members of the public should not approach him. ECPD is coordinating with the FBI in this case. Food insecurity. It's a continuing problem in Wisconsin. The Cap Times reports that 427,000 Wisconsinites struggle to get enough food to meet their basic needs. There are a number of negative health effects that come with food insecurity. Stroke, high blood pressure, and cardiac issues have all been connected to a lack of access to food. A wellness education specialist at Gunderson says while it might be hard to imagine food insecurity impacting those around you, it's more common than you think.
A lot of times food insecurity is your neighbor. They might not be showing that they are food insecure, or they may not be, very forthcoming and upfront saying, hey, I'm really struggling and I need some assistance, but they could be silently struggling within their family, not being able to afford adequate or nutritious foods for their family.
Gunderson worked with Great Rivers 211 to create a website to help connect people with local resources to fight food insecurity. We have that link posted on our platforms. A state assemblywoman is now in the race for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district. Stevens Point Representative Katrina Shankland is running for the Democratic nomination to run against incumbent Republican Derek Van Orden. Shankland has been a member of the state assembly for 10 years and has 7 labor unions endorsing her so far. She says her record proves she can represent hardworking Wisconsinites.
I've been delivering for working families for over a decade. I've been a leader on putting Wisconsin workers first in the legislature and fighting for them and their rights.
The 3 corners of the district now all have a Democrat in the race. Shankland from Stevens Point, Tara Johnson from La Crosse, and Rebecca Cook from Eau Claire. A new program is working to solve the lack of child care workers in La Crosse. Last year, the Department of Labor awarded $15 million to help train 500 people across Wisconsin seeking work in child care. Now, the Western Wisconsin Workforce Development Board has announced how it will use its share of the funds here in La Crosse. $300,000 will go to assisting 20 individuals hoping to fill seats in child care jobs around the region. Interim Executive Director of the Western Wisconsin Workforce Development Board says all child care providers should be aware of the QUEST program, which stands for Quality Jobs, Equity, Strategy, and Training.
So it's in the best interest of the child care centers and providers to be aware of this program, because we can help support them financially by paying for the services to bring that new person on.
The program funding will end on September 30th, 2024. It's still unclear on how QUEST will assist for future child care shortages. Public safety workers go above and beyond to serve their communities, but because of the inherent danger, that kind of person can be hard to find. Western Technical College hosted a workshop at its Sparta Public Safety Training Facility. It gave high school students the opportunity to learn more about public safety careers. One organizer says events like this shows students that a career in public safety might be the right path for them.
So there's a great need for that, right? There's a high demand for these positions, and so to create awareness for the students up front, for them to see that this is a really good option for them once they graduate, is what we're excited about for them today.
20 students from 6 local high schools learned about fire protection, law enforcement, and paramedic careers at today's experience. The Winnebago Park Project in Tomah has a new addition. Kids can now enjoy the sounds of music at the new all-inclusive music park. This park is full of equipment that makes different sounds. The chairman of the Tomah Rotary Plaza Committee says music helps to stimulate children's growth.
I think the collaboration between local businesses, local individuals who made donations. We worked with our district office, Rotary District 6250, and they gave us a lot of funds. We have some trusts in the Tomah area that donated funds to us.
Reichhardt says that the next project the Rotary Club will tackle is building a tot playground. It's harvest time. The Wisconsin State Cranberry Research Station had guests out to their facilities to learn more about the cranberry industry. The day also gave guests an inside look at how our state's largest and most profitable fruit crop is harvested. Members of the cranberry industry were there to share farming practices as well as the importance of having cranberry research facilities.
We're losing products, chemicals, herbicides every year, and we need to try new things out, whether it's Mother Nature's way of doing things with products or new chemicals, and just all production of checking out water, making sure everything is good that comes back out.
Brockman went on to say they had a very successful crop this year despite this summer's drought. Wisconsin is currently a global leader in cranberry production and is projected to lead the nation for the 29th consecutive year. Well, still ahead on your morning news, Google is beefing up its spam filters. We'll tell you what the changes could mean for your email inbox. And over the weekend, a federal student loan pause expired, and now millions of Americans will have to update their budgets. We'll take a look at what tools and resources you can use to help update or set up your new budget plans. That and more is coming up this morning, but for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Taco Tuesday is actually Taco Wednesday this week. That's because today, October 4th, is National Taco Day. The traditional Mexican dish is believed to date back to the 18th century. During that period, Mexican silver miners used explosive charges resembling the food in order to extract silver ore. Tacos come in a variety of forms with both savory and dessert options available. In honor of Taco Day, a number of national chains and local restaurants are offering special deals. That includes Taco Bell, Taco John's, and Qdoba. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
We are tracking a cold front that continues to move its way east into the Coulee region this morning. As you can see, a bunch of clouds exist with this front that's moving through. Also watching a couple of light showers that continue to move through as well, but a lot of them here have since weakened since the overnight hours came along. Current temperatures are into the upper 60s and some spots the low 70s. Right now, La Crosse, you're currently at 71. Eau Claire to the north is at 68. Also very breezy with this front moving through. A south to southwest wind motion around 10 to 15 miles an hour or so continues throughout the morning. Those winds should though begin to subside, however, as we get near the late afternoon to early evening. High temperatures today into the mid to upper 70s in La Crosse County and south. The same can be said as well for areas like Brownsville today. You'll be looking at a high of 78 degrees. Heading into the area of Blair, 75. Melrose, you're looking at 76. And as far south as Trempealeau, you're looking at the same temperature reading today. Highs in the low 70s for much of our northern zones, including Eau Claire today. Your high is about 73 degrees this afternoon. 71 off to school this morning at the bus stop. Could run to some light showers, otherwise cloudy skies. Temperatures warming up into the upper 70s. I'm expecting 78 degrees this afternoon under mostly sunny skies around dismissal time on the way back home. A check on that full weather forecast is still to come in just a few minutes.
In your consumer news this morning, multinational coffee company Starbucks has announced it will be closing 7 locations in San Francisco. Starbucks says the closures are part of a larger evaluation of their store portfolio. The company has actually opened 3 stores in San Francisco in the last 6 months and is renovating an additional 4. Starbucks says nobody will lose their jobs as employees will be offered the chance to transfer to other stores. Google is stepping up its battle against spam. The technology company will add new requirements for bulk senders, groups that send 5,000 or more Gmail messages in a day. Google will now make bulk senders authenticate their recipients and stay below a spam rate threshold. Bulk senders will also have to offer a one-click unsubscribe option in all emails and process unsubscribe requests within 2 days. The new changes will take effect in February. As the United Auto Workers strike continues, General Motors and Ford are announcing more layoffs. The automakers will lay off a total of 500 workers at stamping plants in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. The move comes after the 2 companies laid off more than 2,400 workers last month. Leaders from the UAW say the layoffs are designed to force the union to end its strike. Ford and GM claim that the layoffs are due to manufacturing slowdowns as a result of the strike. Millions of Americans will now have to start paying back their student loans after a pandemic-era pause on federal student loan payments ended over the weekend. Karen Kafa takes a closer look at what tools borrowers can now use to help set up a new budget plan.
It's October, which means it's time to start making federal student loan payments again after a more than 3-year reprieve due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Betsy Mayotte of the Institute for Student Loan Advisors says the transition could be challenging for some borrowers.
There's been a lot of changes since the pause started. Things like housing and lettuce are a lot more expensive than they were pre-COVID.
Mayotte recommends borrowers use the loan simulator tool at studentaid.gov to determine which repayment option is best for them. And remember, the Biden administration has instituted an on-ramp plan, a grace period on missed payments through September 2024.
Normally with federal student loans, if you're 90 days delinquent or more, it starts getting reported negatively to the credit bureaus. That's not going to happen during these 12 months.
Interest, however, will accrue. Beyond the on-ramp window, Mayotte says to make plans now to avoid default, which happens if payments are not made for 270 days or about 9 months.
It will have a significant negative impact on your credit report, which can affect other things like buying a house, the interest rates on your credit cards, a car loan, and so on. So default really should be avoided at all costs.
Borrowers in default on federal student loans could also see their federal tax refund or even a portion of their paycheck withheld.
According to the bank rate, 43.6 million Americans have federal student debt, and the average borrower has over $37,000 in student loan debt. Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Duo. We're starting off this morning a little on the breezy side, and of course it's very cloudy out there right now with a chance of a couple of scattered showers that you could run into. 71 though degrees is the temperature in La Crosse, south to southwest winds at around 11 miles an hour. If you're in Eau Claire, also looking on the mostly cloudy side, 68 is your temperature. Southwest winds at 13 miles an hour, and you can see a lot of the cloud cover continues to move across the Coulee region this morning. We were watching some scattered showers back towards the west, but as they continue to move into our general direction, a lot of them have since dissipated as they moved a little bit closer towards us as a cold front is positioned back towards the west. So we're getting the breezy wind out ahead of it, and also a bunch of the cloud cover and some showers that continue to move out ahead of that frontal boundary as well. And you can see our wind speeds coming up from the southwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour now. I am expecting the winds, though, to subside as we get closer towards the evening hours, and we'll be in much better shape as far as that goes. But as far as today's planner goes, looking at some showers here early, that is still possible, not ruling that out of the question just yet. Looking at mostly sunnier skies, though, as we head throughout the day, with our forecast highs expected to reach the mid to upper 70s come this afternoon. It'll be 78 in La Crosse today with a high of 72 this afternoon if you're in Eau Claire. So a little bit on the warm side here, at least for this time of the year, as our temperatures area wide should be into the upper 60s to low 70s for early October. But I think we'll be a little bit more seasonable tomorrow once this front moves through today. And as you can see, as it continues to move through, a lot of the clouds and showers should come to a close. And here's a look at 6 o'clock today, this evening. You can see those clouds dissipate and skies will turn more clear, especially as we head into tonight as well. I am tracking a couple of light showers, though, that could move into portions of the Chippewa Valley. However, heading into early tomorrow morning on the tail end of this next low pressure system that's forecast to move in here as well. Here's Thursday. Tomorrow afternoon, you can see a couple of light showers possible to the north. The rest of us just looking at some passing clouds that will continue into tomorrow night and early Friday. But I am watching this next low pressure system moving in from the north, and that could cause some shower activity for portions of the Chippewa Valley for Friday morning. And some of those showers may move as far south as La Crosse, La Crosse area as we head into Friday afternoon before dissipating heading into Friday night. And you can see we do have rain chances for the end of the work week on Friday, 40% there with highs around 53 degrees. So we'll be turning much cooler by the end of the week and also into the weekend too. Partly cloudy, drier, but still cold. Highs will be in the 50s. We don't warm up back into the 60s until next week. All right, stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending you a break with a look what happened on this day in history for October 4th. We'll be right back.
The Morning Blitz. We start on the volleyball court. Two Division IV Titans were facing off for the first time this season as the 9-2 Royal Panthers hosted the 21-0 Wauniwoc Center Wolves. They went head-to-head last night in a fight for the Scenic Bluffs Conference crown. We go to Elroy. Royal ranked number 2, Wauniwoc Center number 8. Early in the first set, Bria Gruen sets the tone, unleashing it across the net to get the kill, puts the Panthers up early. Later in the first set, Wolves trying to make a comeback. It's Kelsey Justman powering it through the defense, putting the Wolves within 6. And then check this out. Nearing the end of the set, Brooklyn Gruen comes out of nowhere, taps it over the net as the Panthers would win set 1. And then in set 2, it was all Royal. Mara Gruen hammers this one home for the kill. The Panthers would hand the Wolves their first loss of the season, winning 3-0. All right, the MLB playoffs are officially here, and the Brewers have the pleasure of hosting the wild card round and are trying to get a postseason series win for the first time since 2018. To American Family Field, Brewers hosting the Diamondbacks, and Milwaukee wasted no time. Runners at the corners and Carlos Santana singles up the middle. Yelich comes in to score. Milwaukee takes an early 1-0 lead. And in the second, with a man on, Tyrone Taylor gets the fans on their feet. He sends a 2-run home run out to left. Brewers lead by 3. But in the third, after giving up a 2-run home run, Burns gets taken deep again, this time by Marte, and we're all tied at 3. Then in the fourth, Burns is going to give up his 3rd homer of the game, and Arizona goes on top. Brewers had their chances. Bases loaded, 1 out. Taylor ropes one to third, but Evan Longoria makes a great snag and gets the double play to kill the inning. One more look at it. Just devastating. Brewers drop game 1 6-3 and will need to win games 2 and 3 against Arizona's top 2 pitchers and without Brandon Woodruff. All right, Twins, they're trying to snap an 18-game playoff losing streak last night, hosting the Blue Jays. First inning, man on first for Royce Lewis, and it doesn't matter that he's been injured for 2 weeks because Lewis sends this ball deep to left for a 2-run home run. This guy lives for these moments. It's 2-0 Twins. And then in the third inning, Lewis at the dish again, and for the second time in as many at-bats, Lewis goes yard. He's just the 3rd player in AL/NL history to homer in his first 2 postseason at-bats. What a day for him. Duran came in to close it out, gets the strikeout here for the 2nd out of the inning, 1 out to go. Ground ball over to first, Solano gets a glove on it. The throw is in time, and for the first time since October 5th, 2004, the Twins have won a playoff game. Game 2 of both series are set for later today. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In a historic move yesterday, now former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was voted out of his leadership position as some members of his own party turned against him. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham explains what led to the vote.
For the first time in American history, a House Speaker is ousted from his position in a no-confidence vote.
The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
Now, former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy lost his leadership role in a move led by a group of far-right Republicans who criticized the California congressman for working with Democrats to pass a bill preventing a government shutdown.
I don't regret standing up for choosing governance over grievance.
The final vote, 216 to 210, with all House Democrats plus 8 Republicans voting against McCarthy.
I think today was a political decision by the Democrats.
The coup led by Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida, who also accused McCarthy of making a secret side deal with President Biden on aid for Ukraine.
Kevin McCarthy has made multiple contradictory promises. He lost votes of people who maybe don't even ideologically agree with me on everything.
McCarthy has announced he will not run for Speaker again. Representative Patrick McHenry of North Carolina will now serve as the party looks for its next House Speaker.
Several names have been floated to replace McCarthy, including House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana. Well, don't be alarmed if your smartphone lets out a loud screech today. The federal government is planning a nationwide test of the emergency alert system at 1:20 in the afternoon. The test will include wireless emergency alerts in addition to television and radio alerts. You should also receive a text message telling you that it is only a test. You may not have to wait as long for your airport to be renewed anymore. The U.S. State Department has reported that processing time for passports has been lowered by about 2 weeks. However, they still recommend that you do not wait till the last minute to get a new one. Getting a new passport will still take roughly 8 to 11 weeks, and expedited service may now take 5 to 7 weeks. The main reason for the decrease in time is because the State Department has increased their staffing by 10% and is still hiring hundreds of more workers. The FDA has approved Novavax's updated COVID-19 vaccine. The updated protein-based shots will be for people 12 and older and will now target the XBB Omicron subvariant as well as the EG5 variant, which is currently the dominant strain of the virus in the U.S. The CDC director has also recommended the new Novavax vaccine as a better option to protect yourself against the virus. A Wisconsin judge has blocked a school district policy allowing students to change their names and gender pronouns without parental consent. The judge ruled the policy violates the rights of parents to make medical decisions for their children. The decision comes from a 2021 lawsuit. Parents say district officials improperly used a male name and male pronouns to address their 12-year-old daughter without their consent. At the time, the girl was questioning her identity, but eventually decided to not transition. Child care continues to be an area of gridlock in the Wisconsin legislature. Last month, Republicans gavelled in and out of a special session to address workforce and child care issues. Governor Tony Evers and other Democrats want to use surplus funds to continue the Child Care Counts Act, something that would cost around $340 million. Republican Representative Nancy Vandermeer says Evers is focused on financials while her Republican colleagues are looking at specific solutions for the industry.
We had a fantastic package of bills that helps our providers right now to do a better job. Not that they're not doing a great job, but help them to serve more children as well.
She's talking about 6 bills that largely loosen restrictions on child care centers, like allowing 16-year-olds to be able to supervise children alone and increasing the number of children allowed per worker. She says workforce shortages are not unique to the child care industry. Evers has said child care obstacles will have the largest negative impact on Wisconsin's workforce. Although the holiday season is still months away, a group of Minnesota volunteers are working overtime to help provide wooden toys to kids in need. John Lauriston shows us how their small operation is making a big impact on both first responders and children.
It is kind of Santa's workshop, yeah.
In the middle of a pole shed, you'll find volunteers like Susie Moss, a retired teacher. She's still using her free time to help kids, but in a much different way.
To be able to continue to be a part of that has been a pleasure.
You could say Susie is part of an automotive assembly line, but at a much smaller scale. It's the brainchild of Gary Garber.
I said, I've got a pole building, it's got a wood shop in it, we can start this in Minnesota.
Gary got the idea for Midwest Wooden Toys after coming across a similar concept while living in Las Vegas. The premise is to supply law enforcement officers with cars and trucks that they in turn give to families and kids in distress.
Kids are upset, they go to the car, they take out a couple of the toys, give them to the kids, and it makes a world of difference.
When the volunteers really get going, they can make about 200 wooden toys a week, and these pickup trucks tend to be the most popular. They've become so well received that Midwest Wooden Toys now works with police and sheriff's departments across Sherburne County, and they're expanding. The State Patrol just placed their biggest order yet, requesting about 3,000 toys.
More toys than we will make in our best season so far.
Thankfully, all the materials and time are donated. That includes an endless amount of oak that Travis Williams donates.
He'll call me up and tell me about an order that he needs, and then I'll get working in the mill, and in a day or two I can bring over the skid steer a big pallet of oak, and he's just excited.
Excited because Gary knows in the end, it's the kids who benefit.
Can you see the smile on my face all the time? It's just a labor of love.
Gary says they are always looking for more volunteers. Now here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Dual. We are tracking a cold front that continues to move into the Coulee region this morning, as noted by the abundant cloud cover, and also a couple of those light showers that continue to move their way in across the area this morning as well. Our current temperatures are into the upper 60s, low 70s. 68 is the temperature in Eau Claire. If you're in La Crosse, 71 is your current temperature this morning. Heading into the rest of the day, a high of 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies, a little bit on the mild and breezy side with southwest winds at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. As we head into tonight, temperatures drop to about 53, a mostly clear night in store. Cooler temperatures as well, south to southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your mowing forecast today looks great, so I think today will be a really nice day to go ahead and mow the lawn if you haven't had a chance yet, as afternoon temperatures will be into the low to mid 70s here today with increasing sunshine. Now I'll talk about final check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes, and also coming up in our Buzz Report. An upcoming film from A24 tells the story of Elvis Presley's relationship. We'll have a sneak peek for you in just a few minutes. was a little bit of a breezy start here this morning. City Cam 8 showing also a lot of cloud cover here across the Cooley region here as well for us this morning. Temperatures at 71 degrees, and you can see south-southwest winds at around 11 miles an hour being reported at the La Crosse Airport. If you're in Eau Claire, also a little on the breezy side, southwest winds at 13 miles an hour, mostly cloudy. Temperatures at 68 degrees. And if we look at the satellite and radar picture, you can see an abundance of clouds right now with some light showers that continue to move through. The heavier showers were back towards the west overnight, but as they moved into our general direction across the Cooley region, it started to break apart and dissipate, associated with this low pressure system and cold front back towards the west of us right now. And that system is expected to continue to track its way towards the east later this morning, and that should pass on through here later today. And a little bit breezy here, as we mentioned, with the southwest winds at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. That wind should begin to subside as we head closer towards the evening hours here tonight. Let's talk about your day planner here throughout the day. A couple of light scattered showers are possible earlier in the morning. Temperatures at 71 at 7, and then really throughout the rest of the day, we're talking about increasing sunshine with high temperatures expected to reach the low to mid 70s this afternoon. In fact, if you're in La Crosse today, your high will be 78 degrees, which is a little bit on the warm side for this time of the year. We should be into the upper 60s to low 70s, but I think we'll start to see that more so towards tomorrow once that cold front begins to pull through today. And you can see it moving through here late morning into the early afternoon hours today, along with all the clouds again decreasing as we head into this afternoon around 6 p.m. or so. And then as we take you into tonight, we are expecting some clearer skies to once again move in. I am watching this next low pressure system expected to bypass us to the north. That could cause a little bit of some light showers on the tail end into the Chippewa Valley here tomorrow, and maybe a couple of light scattered showers in the vicinity of the Chippewa Valley for tomorrow afternoon. I think the rest of us will remain pretty dry though, and the mainly dry conditions will continue as we head into tomorrow night as well. Here comes this next low pressure system I'm monitoring back towards the north on Friday, and some of those showers may begin to move their way towards the south into the Chippewa Valley and into portions of the La Crosse area heading into tomorrow afternoon before beginning to diminish as we head into Friday night. All right, let's talk about your 8-day forecast, and you can see that we will be looking at some bright chances with that system moving in on Friday, along with some much cooler high temperatures into the 50s, highs into the 50s through the weekend as well. We don't warm up back into the 60s until Monday of next week.
In our Morning Buzz report, a Los Angeles judge has ruled that Lady Gaga will not have to pay reward money to a woman tied to taking her dogs. The woman, Jennifer McBride, is a suspect in the 2021 dog napping of Gaga's French bulldogs Koji and Gustave. McBride brought the dogs to a police station after Gaga announced a $500,000 no question asked reward for their return. Dog walker Ryan Fisher received a gunshot wound in the incident.
Hi, what's your name?
Priscilla Boyer.
You like Elvis Presley?
Of course. Who doesn't?
A new biopic will explore Elvis Presley's dark side through the lens of his relationship with Priscilla Presley. Priscilla was only 14 when she met the king of rock and roll, who was 10 years her senior. Priscilla stars Kaylee Spaney and Euphoria's Jacob Elordi. Directed by acclaimed filmmaker Sofia Coppola, it has garnered a positive reception from critics with a 94% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Priscilla will arrive in theaters November 3rd.
A telescope is a time machine, and JWST can see deeper into the past than any telescope in history.
A new documentary is set to bring images from the James Webb Space Telescope to IMAX. The film will take audiences on a journey to never-before-seen solar systems. Narrated by Michelle Williams, Deep Sky will open in select IMAX theaters on October 20th. The $10 billion James Webb Telescope was completed in 2016 and launched in 2021. It is operated by the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, Maryland. Heads up Star Wars fans, droid C-3PO's noggin is set to be sold at auction. The piece of science fiction movie tells history is expected to sell at the astounding price of $1.2 million. The prop comes from the personal collection of C-3PO actor Anthony Daniels. C-3PO's head is among the 1,800 pieces of movie and TV memorabilia being offered at auction by Prop Store in November. The auction is expected to bring in more than $14.6 million.
Wow.
Were you ever a Star Wars fan?
Yeah, I watched, not the old Star Wars movies, but I think some of the more recent ones that came out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like Star Wars, and I also like Star Trek, so, they're both pretty good, I think.
Will you be bidding on this?
I don't have that kind of money, so yeah, I don't think so.
Darn.
But best of luck to whoever wins.
Whoever wins that
I wish I had
auction.
your kind of money, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever spend that kind of money on an item. But again, I don't have that kind of money, so I can't even imagine doing that. I'm sure it's different for people who do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you have that kind of money, I don't think it really matters at that point. It's like, oh yeah, sure, that looks cool. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll put it in my room.
Exactly. I don't have anything else sitting in that corner, so I'll just put it there.
Why go shopping at Target when you can bid on that?
Exactly, too.
Well, before we hit to break, it's time for today's Look Who's 8.
All right, we got a couple of birthdays. Finnegan is 8 months old. Now he loves to crawl, play with his older siblings, and snuggle with mom and dad.
Conrad is also 8 months old. He loves to try new foods, show off his 2 teeth by smiling, and play with his dog, Tank.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. Bail has been increased for the man accused of killing 26-year-old Madeline Kingsbury. 29-year-old Adam Fravel appeared in Winona County Court. Prosecutors asked for Fravel's bail to be increased to $3 million. Earlier this week, a grand jury indicted Fravel on heightened murder charges. He now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. Kingsbury went missing in March. Her remains were discovered over 2 months later. Fravel, the former partner and biological father of Kingsbury's children, was arrested on the same day. He faces life in prison if convicted. Fravel's next court appearance is expected to be in December. Sexual content and inappropriate communication. It's a pattern of misconduct that a Chippewa County investigation says the sheriff displayed to a new employee. A complaint filed in May triggered an investigation into Sheriff Travis Hakes. The complaint accused him of sending inappropriate and unwanted messages to a new employee. According to the complaint, Hakes claims the messages were intended to make the new employee feel welcome, but the report alleges that he did not communicate with other new or seasoned employees in the same manner. Hakes blasted the investigation, saying he had no knowledge a formal complaint was filed against him, and the people behind the report have a political agenda against him. The Chippewa County Human Resources Director says that's not right. The director says Hakes was notified of the complaint 6 times before the investigation started, and that his rights have been respected throughout the process. The suspect in an Eau Claire credit union robbery is still at large. According to the Eau Claire PD, officers responded to a holdup alarm at Wisconsin Credit Union around 1 in the afternoon Monday. Police say the suspect had a handgun and demanded money from employees. He then fled on a dirt bike with an undisclosed amount of cash. Police are asking for the public's help in finding the man. They say the suspect is a white male, bald with a mustache, and between 6'10" and 6 feet tall. Police consider the man to be armed. Members of the public should not approach him. The Eau Claire Police Department is coordinating with the FBI in this case. Don't be alarmed if your smartphone lets out a loud screech today. The federal government is planning a nationwide test of the emergency alert system at 1:20 in the afternoon. The test will include wireless emergency alerts in addition to television and radio alerts. You should also receive a text message telling you that it's only a test. A state assemblywoman is now in the race for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district. Stevens Point Representative Katrina Shankland is running for the Democratic nomination to run against incumbent Republican Derek Van Orden. Shankland has been a member of the state assembly for 10 years and has 7 labor unions endorsing her so far. She says her record proves she can represent hardworking Wisconsinites.
I've been delivering for working families for over a decade. I've been a leader on putting Wisconsin workers first in the legislature and fighting for them and their rights.
3 corners of the district now all have a Democrat in the race. Shanklin from Stevens Point, Tara Johnson from La Crosse, and Rebecca Cook from Eau Claire. Well, it's harvest time. The Wisconsin State Cranberry Research Station had guests out to their facilities to learn more about the cranberry industry. The day also gave guests an inside look at how our state's largest and most profitable fruit crop is harvested. Members of the cranberry industry were there to share farming practices as well as the importance of having cranberry research facilities.
We're losing products, chemicals, herbicides every year, and we need to try new things out, whether it's Mother Nature's way of doing things with products or new chemicals, and just all production of checking out water, making sure everything is good that comes back out.
Brockman went on to say they had a very successful crop this year despite this summer's drought. Wisconsin is currently a global leader in cranberry production and is projected to lead the nation for the 29th consecutive year.
And as you head out the door this morning, we got temperatures into the upper 60s to low 70s. Slight chance of a shower or two is possible during the morning, but expect clear conditions though, with lots of sunshine as we head into this afternoon, with temperatures warming up into the mid to upper 70s today. All right, check on your 8-day forecast showing that tomorrow looking a little bit more seasonable with our highs in the low 70s. Watching for a chance of showers and much cooler conditions on Friday. Drier for this weekend, but highs still into the 50s for Saturday and Sunday. So it's not until next week where we start to warm up again.
Definitely looking forward to those cooler temperatures, to get new sweaters.
There you go. Break out the fall clothes.
Fall clothes is an excuse to go shopping, buy new boots. You'll
All that
probably
type of
like
thing.
it better. You won't get a sunburn.
Yeah, well, exactly. I feel like, you know, too much sun is no fun. You know, you get my drift. But
All right, Dr. Seuss.
I don't even know if that was a Dr. Seuss quote.
I don't think it was, but it rhymed, and you
It
know,
just rhymes,
when
you
it
know what I
rhymes,
mean?
you think of Dr. Seuss.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
I'm copying it from somebody. Okay, close us out, Joe.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with news of the day on news8000.com. We'll have the latest updates on today's stories at noon. Have a wonderful Wednesday.